What's going on YouTube? Kamikazevondoom here with another Division 2 build video. Now shout out to the DoD, Disciples of Doom. And today's build video is going to be my Oxidizer 2.0. This is the build that I used all yesterday during that amazing stream we did, farming Floor 100 Summit on Legendary with 8 directives. And we were just flying through it. But don't worry, I'll show you some gameplay of it just in case. And just for those asking, after yesterday, I cleared over 120 million XP after that stream. Not only that, but let's see, we were able to get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different bighorns to drop. I, of course, had my God rolled one that I already have. But yesterday we had 8 bighorns to drop doing it with this build. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to explain what we did. I'll show you the gameplay and then we will go into the build breakdown. But alright, so what we did, it was myself, Reaper Hawk, Epic Gambit, and X. What we were doing is we were farming Summit Floor 100 on Legendary with 8 directives. A lot of you have been asking me, how did you do that? How do you keep grinding it over and over and over? Well, it's very simple. You have to have a 5th person. So say, you know, there's 4 of you grinding through it. You have to have a 5th person on the sidelines just waiting with the Floor 100 checkpoint. Everyone joins that 5th person. The 5th person leaves. Then the 4 of you get to run it again. So if you do it fast enough, you can do it over and over and over and over. Not only that, but I'll show you the gameplay. Every time we got a clear, it was 1.7 million XP. Not only that, but it was, I believe, 5 or 6 boss drops, and then you get the completion of the summit drop all at the same time. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you some gameplay. It's going to be us farming the entire thing over and over and over, and you can see how the strategy works. I'm going to let you know right now there were 2 people running the same build I have, except for the other person ran it a little bit more efficient than me. However, I was getting upwards of 900,000 plus damage per tick from my Oxidizer during this run. And you'll be able to see all of the damage numbers and everything. You can, you know, copy and paste and compare your numbers to mine, and hopefully you can come up with a similar build, if not a better build. But for the strategy, you have 2 different people that have really nice Oxidizer builds. You have 1 person running a mortar explosive build, and then you have 1 person being the healer. So what we would do is we'd gather up together, we'd have the healer sit back with us because we are running 8 directives on Legendary. Not only that, but we're all running perfect glass cannon on top of that. So the healer is really vital. Not only that, but the healer can also give you overcharge, and you also have someone running an artificer hive, whatever. And with all of those procs together, that's how you get the Oxidizer to hit for upwards of 1 million damage per tick. I think the guy I was running with, he gets well over 1 million per tick, but with the build setup that I have right now, the highest I could hit was about 997k per tick. But alright, I'm going to go ahead and show you all of the gameplay highlights from last night's stream. So sit back, relax, grab your popcorn. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up, support the video. You can support the channel by either subscribing or becoming a member. And if you have any questions at all, let me know in the comment section below. We are here to help. Not only that, but I do want to give you a heads up. Tonight we are doing another raid stream with Sergeant Graybeard. We are going to get him the Eagle Bearer. I promise you. But alright, let's go ahead and get to that gameplay. Shout out again to Reaper, Epic, and X for showing me, you know, the Floor 100 speedruns and, you know, allowing me to have some footage for this build video. But alright, sit back, relax, and let's roll that gameplay. All right. I know. Pick your jaw up from off the floor. I think that was about what, 15 or so summit clears just for the gameplay footage. So I understand that was quite a bit, but by now you should see the exact strategy we were using to not only, complete floor 100 so quick, but to also get those hunters down within seconds. I think I timed it, and even with us going through our gear and everything, we were able to get a floor 100 clear in under 2.5 minutes. That's the entire floor and hunters included. I think it took us about 5 minutes total to do the entire floor, clear it, go through our gear, reset, and then start again. So you could run this up to 6 times per hour if you do it 5 minutes at a time. You could do it a little bit quicker, but for us it was somewhere around 5 or 6 clears an hour. But yeah, enough about that. Let's get into the build breakdown. This is my Oxidizer 2.0. All right, I'll let you look at this for just a second, and I'll give you a little overview. It is a technician skill build with all yellow core attributes and 1 red core attribute. So 5 in 1. What I'm doing is I'm using the technician to give me that 6 skill tier. And this thing works like a charm. Now, the way to get upwards of 1,000,000 damage, you do have to shoot the enemy with your test subject and combined arms. That way you get the combined arms and you get the perfectly in sync all at the same time. That's how I was hitting, the 900, 950, even 990, hit markers with the Oxidizer. Now, starting off at the top, Specialization Technician. Reason being is you get that 1+ skill tier, but you also get 10% skill damage. So don't forget about that. You get the skill tier and you get skill damage on top. Now for the weapons, I am only using the test subject. That's it. In case of an emergency, I do have my Vector 9mm with that 53 round magazine, dirty, and then also a double barrel sawed-off for the sidearm. But for this video, for all the gameplay footage, for everything I do with this build, I am only using the test subject. So let's talk about it. This test subject, it is the named PDR assault rifle with perfectly in sync. Now for the numbers, I'm sitting at 79.5k total damage with max AR damage, max health damage, and max damage to targets out of cover. Now, sidebar, damage to targets out of cover does help out your Oxidizer. So just remember that. For this build, there are certain skills that do work with damage to targets out of cover, and the Oxidizer is one of them. So make sure you have damage to targets out of cover on your test subject because it's multiplicative and it is 10%. Now, as far as the perfectly in sync, doing damage with your skill will give you weapon damage. Doing damage with your weapon gives you skill damage. If you are able to do both at the exact same time, you get double the buffs. So, for example, when I'm at floor 100 and I shoot all of those Oxidizers for the hunters, I'll switch to my test subject, shoot a few bullets, and I'll not only get the 40% from the perfectly in sync, but then I'll also get my perfectly combined arms proc as well. And that's why I'm using the weapon. Nothing too crazy. It takes what, like 2 bullets and then you get all the procs? I mean, it's amazing, just saying. Now, as far as the build, you can make this build hit harder. However, with the way I have it set up, it's pretty good. So what I do is I have the 2 Empress for the skill damage. I have 2 Hana-Yu for the skill damage. I have the Sacrifice for the perfect glass cannon, which is amplified. And then I have an all yellow Fox's Prayer knee pads for the damage to targets out of cover and the skill damage. All right, now talking about the items individually. All right, starting off with the mask. This is the Empress International mask. Empress International brand set bonuses I get from this build: 10% skill health and then 10% skill damage. So make sure you have 2 of them on your build. Now as far as the attributes, it comes with the skill tier, but I have skill haste on there at 9.6 and then max skill damage. For the mod, a max skill haste mod. Now, just so you know, with the way that we are running the strategy for the floor 100 speedruns, you don't really need the skill haste. As long as you have max skill damage, that's all that matters. So max skill damage and then multiplicative talents. This is how you get those really crazy high numbers. Now, I just took it off favorite. There we go. Moving on to the backpack, Hanayu Corporation backpack. This is the Force Multiplier. It is the name Hanayu backpack with perfect combined arms. So on top of the 40% buff I get from Perfectly in Sync, I'll also get a 30% buff from the perfect combined arms at the exact same time. So that's how I'm getting those insane numbers. Now as far as the Hanayu Corporation brand set bonuses from this build, 10% skill haste and 10% skill damage. Now as far as the attributes, it comes with the skill tier. I have 9.9 skill damage, so you can get 0.1% better, and then it comes with max skill haste. For the mod, 11.9% skill haste as well. Going to the chest piece, this is the Sacrifice. It is the named Providence Defense chest piece with perfect glass cannon. So all damage you deal is amplified by 30%. So I shoot a couple bullets into the hunter, I get 40% from the Perfectly in Sync, I get 30% from the perfect combined arms, and then you amplify that by 30% from your perfect glass cannon. You can start to see how these damage wheels turn together and, give you this insane output. Now, the Providence Defense brand set bonus I get from this build, 15% headshot damage. For the core attribute, it does come with weapon damage, which is fine because you are running the Technician specialization. So I am still able to get my skills to that tier 6. So having that red core attribute is not a problem. Now as far as the other attributes, it comes with skill haste at 10.1 and then max skill damage. For the mod, another max skill haste mod. Now the gloves, Hanayu gloves. These ones are god rolled. So I have max skill haste and max skill damage. Going to the holster. The holster is Empress International, and for the attributes I have max skill damage and 11.2 skill haste. Remember, the skill haste is not, it's not a must. It's just helping you out while you're playing. However, as long as you have the max skill damage, that's all that matters. And then finally, last but not least, the Fox's Prayer knee pads. Now, the Fox's Prayer knee pads are the named Overlord Armament knee pads with damage to targets at a cover. They are best in slot for all knee pads because the damage to targets at a cover is a multiplicative damage buff, and that is way, way better than all your other normal buffs. Now, as far as the attributes, I rolled on here a skill tier, and it has max skill damage. So that's why I'm able to use these and the Sacrifice at the same time, because I rolled the skill tier on here to make sure that I still have that 6 tier skills. And that is the build. Now, as far as the skills I'm using, which you saw in the gameplay, I'm using the Jammer Pulse because it really does damage the dogs and the Wallybots, or mini tanks, whatever you want to call them. Not only that, but the Chungas that come out. For Legendary, the White Tusk Chungas have a Stinger Hive on their backpack. Now, the only way to disable that is either to destroy the backpack or to use a jammer. You can also use like an EMP sticky or like an EMP grenade, but for me personally, the Jammer Pulse is the way to go. You can get your Jammer Pulse quicker, and it's more efficient. It does a lot of damage to the dogs, the Wallybots, and the Chunga. And then, of course, the star of the show is the Oxidizer. This is your chem launcher that does a crap ton of damage. Now, as far as the mods I have on the Oxidizer, I have +1 ammo for the enhancer, and then I have a damage for the coating mod slot. Now, as far as the numbers, here we go. It is tier 6, and just stock sitting here on paper, I have 8 in the ammo, 11.9 ammo cooldown with a 3.9 meter radius, 13-second duration, and then the cloud damage is just under 175k, and that's just on paper. That's excluding all of the damage to targets out of cover, the perfect glass cannon, the perfectly in sync, the perfect combined arms, and the list goes on. So once you do all of that and all of the buffs and procs are done, you get somewhere around 800,000 to 990,000 per tick, and that's with all of your buffs active. Now, there are a few ways to tweak it to get over 1 million, but we'll talk about that in a different video. Alright, and this is my Oxidizer 2.0. Let's finish off with the stats. Now, this is for the test subject. 79.5k weapon damage with 10% crit chance, 45 crit damage, and 90 headshot damage. Remember, I do have the damage targets out of cover on the weapon and on the knee pads. And then also I do have 21% health damage. Now, all of that does help out your Oxidizer. Alright, offensive tab, I have 23.7 all weapon damage bonus and 30% AR damage bonus. So every time I use the test subject, I have 53.7% damage bonus total. As far as the gear talents, perfect combined arms and perfect glass cannon. You cannot go wrong with that. You shoot one bullet and you can get 70% skill damage increase, and then amplify that from the glass cannon and also the damage to targets out of cover. Defensive tab, 726k armor with 333k health. Remember, my explosive resistance and hazard are both at 10%, and that is due to my watch level. So, like every build video I do, let's talk about the watch level. So currently for this build video, I am sitting at 2046 on the shade level. That means all of these boxes are maxed out 50 of 50. So if you are at or above shade level 1000, all of these boxes should be maxed out 50 of 50, and all you have to do is copy and paste my build and you'll get the exact same numbers and the exact same results. However, if you are below shade level 1000, you're not going to be able to copy and paste and get the exact same numbers. So make sure you grind out those shade levels, get up to 1000, and have all of these boxes maxed out. It's the best thing for you to do. These are stats and buffs that you get for free. All you have to do is level up. After shade level 1000, you never have to worry about it again. That's it. This is the Oxidizer 2.0. I hope you guys have enjoyed the build video. I do understand that gameplay was pretty long, but we did the summit, I don't know, probably 50 times yesterday. I think I gained like 120 levels just in one day, and you saw from that XP, I'm at like 129 million for the week, 123 million for the week, and the week just really started. So this is a great build, great farming method. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up, support the channel by subscribing, and if you have any questions at all, let me know in the comments section below. But I'm Kamikazevondoom. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.